What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. Also, if you're on YouTube, look at how crisp this picture is, baby. We got a new camera set up. I got a new capture card coming in the mail. Upgrading big time. Upgrading big time for MLB The Show 24. And that just so happens to be what we're talking about this afternoon or morning or evening, whenever you are, this twilight, whenever you are listening. Is twilight even a time of day? I don't know. You tell me. You read it in the title, you saw it in the thumbnail, you saw it on your podcast listening app of choice. Make sure you follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review, by the way. We're going to talk a little bit about if MLB The Show 2024 is a pivotal year. Is it a make or break year? Realistically, only you can answer that question for yourself. I cannot answer that for you, of course, nor should the opinions of others make that determination for you. Right? If we're being honest, your opinion is the only one that matters to yourself. But it is important, I think, to just set the stage, set the scene, let it all unfold before us. I have not been playing a lot of MLB The Show lately. People who've been listening for the last few weeks know that. It's not because I'm upset at the game. It's been out for a full year, so it's nice to change it up. But I've been reliving my childhood playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm up to Kingdom Hearts 3. I've got 3.5 weeks to finish Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, which is a very short game that comes after the fact. All of this is to say, I'm kind of looking at MLB The Show right now with a semi-fresh set of eyes. And maybe that's why I come across lately not as critical as I have tended to be in the past. Critical in a constructive way, for what it's worth. Why do I have that on my screen? Hold on, new camera set up here. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. We're going to work through the kinks of this new camera together, boys and girls. If you're listening, you didn't see anything just now. But, I'm also hopeful in these last few weeks, because it's the news cycle of the new game. Why wouldn't we be hopeful? But either way, it is time to have a real discussion about the future of MLB The Show, specifically as it pertains to the upcoming game that releases very soon, which I can't wait for, because I'm excited. Ultimately, guys, I'm a baseball fan. As are, I would imagine, all of you. So with that being the case, we're going to keep playing this game. Now, I don't mean that as a pass to SDS. I don't mean that as an excuse for a lack of progress. I'm just speaking matter-of-factly. This is the baseball game that exists. I will be playing the baseball game that exists. That's just a matter-of-fact statement. A lot of you guys might fall into that same category. Just putting it out there. But either way, let's talk a little bit. So, part of this episode, or part of the reasoning behind this episode, I should say, is influenced by, inspired would, insinuate positivity. It is inspired by a lot of the comments I've been reading, both on my videos, on Twitch, in SDS live streams, on Twitter/X/Elon.com. I just burped, excuse me. I'm sorry if you heard that. I don't know if that just happens every year this time of year when the new game is announced. Maybe I'm just ignorant and forgot about what happened during last year's announcement cycle. People are very angry for some reason. People are very angry that there's a woman in the game. It's a pretty silly thing to be upset over. People are upset. I read one comment. Why are the Negro Leagues back? Sir, because it's a multi-year agreement and contract, and we knew that last year. That's not news. So, silly Willy, stop that. People are angry that the graphics have not upgraded. a couple caveats to that. Number one, and shout out to the commenters who pointed this out to me in my last video, or one of my last videos last week. Did you see the hair flowing freely on Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? That's never happened. That's a new graphical thing. So that's new. Don't say the graphics haven't changed. But secondly, a lot of the stuff we're seeing in terms of gameplay and graphics right now are not final. It says not final on the bottom of the screen. That is not me defending SDS. That is me literally saying the fact that it says it's not final. So, do I want the shiniest graphics possible? Of course I do. I think most of us do. Would I rather the game perform at peak performance and sacrifice graphical quality? 1,000,000% every day of the year. This is not a one-to-one comparison, but I said this on Twitter the other day, and I'm rolling with it. I kind of like it. Complaining about graphics in MLB The Show is like complaining about graphics in Pokemon. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt this absolutely incredible video that you're watching, but I have something very exciting to tell you, and it is that we have new merch available. It's been a little while since I've hyped up the merch, but like I said, I'm super excited about this. It shows off the new logo, some new designs, some new things that you guys might not have thought you would have wanted. So let's go look at it. As you can see here on my merch store, we have a discount running. If you use code KDJ10 now through the end of February, you're getting 10% off your entire order. So now is the best time to stock up on some new gear. We've got t-shirts, stickers for sticking on things, hoodies for if you live in chilly places and want to keep your nipples all sorts of warm, notebooks if you enjoy writing things down. Of course, we still have the classic The Show the Podcast t-shirts. And lastly, my favorite piece of new merch, it is the embroidered firewood hoodie. This is stitched on. It is a piece of my logo that doesn't include kdjTV. It's just the bolt, it's just the bat. It looks crazy good, and it also appears on the left wrist. Come on now. So like I said, KDJ10 gets you 10% off now through the end of February, and the link to my merch store is always in the description. If you buy something, let me know. I'll blow you a kiss. All right, back to the content. You don't play Pokemon for the graphics. You play it for the tiny little fun monsters that you go run around in the grass and catch with balls that house them in tiny little virtual fashion. Again, I want to add another layer to this caveat machine. Just caveat on caveat on caveat. I really wish this game would be optimized for current gen. I think that alone makes an incredible graphical step up that we are desperately in need of. I agree with the entire world who's clamoring for that. I am on your side. Without question. I think it is a little silly that we've yet to have an optimized for current gen MLB The Show when PS5 came out in what? Was it 2020? I think it came out in 2020. So we're due. We're very much due, and I agree. And I hear and I feel those frustrations. But, personally speaking, I'd rather a game just perform well versus having all the shiny toys. Regardless, I digress. All the complaints that I'm hearing, every year we hear the same thing. It's just a roster reskin. Sometimes that's right. Sometimes that's just factually wrong. Every single year for a lot of people is a make or break year for MLB The Show. And again, I can't give you that answer. If you're feeling that, you're feeling that. That's your emotion. That's your feeling. That's, whatever. But to say, or to determine if this year specifically, MLB The Show 24 is a pivotal year, I don't feel that for myself. Because as I said, I'm a baseball fan. I enjoy baseball. I enjoy this game. I think storylines is cool. I'm excited for all the upgrades we're going to learn about in feature premieres in the next couple weeks. Because I'm sure there will be things to talk about. Sets and seasons, I know, will either be discussed as improved or discussed as removed. And that could be a bit. Sets and seasons is a big thing for make or break people. But I just feel this year there are more people upset about MLB The Show than there have been in the past. At least recent past. If you guys on YouTube think I'm wrong, please tell me. I don't really know the point of this episode other than kind of just get the lay of the land for everybody. There is a lot of disdain in the community. And I would love to say politics aside, but I don't think politics are aside here. I think politics are inside. That's part of it. The other part is sets and seasons. Sets and seasons was divisive. Sets and seasons was innovative, for sure. Sets and seasons was creative. Sets and seasons, in my opinion, as I've said from the jump, has potential. That potential has not yet been realized, but the potential exists. It's like a quadruple A player. It's like someone who crushes it in triple A, comes up to the majors in his stinky caca, but the second he shuttles back to triple A, he's an MVP again. That's kind of where Sets and Seasons is. We're right in we're on the taxi squad. We're like right there. If Sets and Seasons is back, and Sets and Seasons is here to stay, if it's here to stay, that's going to turn a hell of a lot of people away from this game. There are people waiting to pre-order this game because they want to know if Sets and Seasons are back. Sets and Seasons, again, I don't hate it in concept. I wish it was better last year. I think it will be better this year if it's back. But in concept, I like it. But Sets and Seasons is possibly the most divisive thing SDS has ever done. They took a swing trying to revitalize a content structure that was successful, but was certainly becoming old. It had been the same essential content structure for several years. And so, incredible respect, tip of the cap, to SDS for saying, yeah, we've got something that works. We're gonna try to make it better, or we're gonna try to innovate. There is the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I understand. But in video game world, if you're not evolving, you're dying. Right? Like, realistically, in video game world, if you're not evolving, you're dying. And SDS, even with really no outside competition in terms of a realistic baseball simulator, or semi-realistic baseball simulator, let's be honest with ourselves. Even with no outside competition, SDS said, we're going to try to make a change. And again, a lot of the comments lately are like, you are defending SDS for everything, you're a shill, I'm just speaking facts. They tried Sets and Seasons, it didn't work great last year. It just didn't. It bored a lot of people, it at times bored me. The grind was very repetitive, made it a little better at the end of the year, rather, but at that point, most of the player base was gone. So those changes almost fell on deaf ears. I do think for a larger percentage of the player base than previous, the news we're getting in the next 2 to 3 weeks could make or break it. It really could. I'm of the belief, or I have the opinion, that one person in a random comment section going, I don't support Sets and Seasons, they're not getting my money again, doesn't do a damn thing. Go ahead, save your money. However, whichever edition you usually buy, save that money. Go ahead, good for you. And that's not me diminishing that person. If that's your opinion, fine. But good for you, save your money. That's not a tidal wave of action. You know, that one or two people, that's not like a tidal wave that's going to get SDS to change the world. But when it's something about, like, you know, as loud as it's been, and there are a lot of people who don't care for Sets and Seasons, like a lot. If it's back in 2024, it better work. Because if it don't, it's make or break. It's time to figure out the next content model. Whether we go back to the old days of the power creep, what's old is new again, I don't know. But something got to give. Because I don't know. I feel as if the community is it's such a fragile point. Just like the rest of the world, I guess. And we're not making this a political conversation, but one side says one thing, it pisses off everybody else. Vice versa. We can't all just let everybody enjoy the game they want to enjoy or how they enjoy it. If you enjoy the way I disagree with, you're an idiot, you're wrong, you're a moron. And again, vice versa. Part of me, to some degree, is okay with a lot of this discourse. The manner in which the discourse is happening should be different, but the discourse on the surface is good. Because things can't progress without some push, without some conversation, without some constructive criticism. The problem is, a lot of the criticism ain't constructive. We need to get to a place of being more constructive. Right now, it's just criticism. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's going to make everybody the happiest at MLB The Show. From a theoretical standpoint, if you take MLB The Show 23's gameplay, strict gameplay, which is the best it's been in years, hands down. If you disagree with that, I disagree with you. And I usually I value opinions. I disagree with that one. MLB The Show 23's gameplay, as somebody who's played this game for over like 1,300 hours, is hands down the best it's been in years. If you take that gameplay, you just pick it up and plop it into 24. Don't touch the code. Leave it alone. And you revert to the old content model. It's going to make a lot of folks happy. For sure. But at the same time, guys, we're taking a step back from potential innovation, and we're right back at square one of the content model being semi-old or stale. One step forward, one step back, we're back at zero. So that's why I'm not advocating for just going backwards. I think we either give one more shot at sets and seasons this year, make it sing, or maybe there's something else. People don't like change, and that's okay. I hate change. I despise change. This whole new camera setup I just did gave me boatloads of anxiety, and it's clearly still not working correctly. I gotta figure it out. This is a trial run, except it will also be public for everybody to see. I hate change. I really do. I don't like it literally at all. It gives me immense anxiety. Whether it is a small day-to-day work change, whether it is a big life change, whether it's, anything. It gives me anxiety. Truly. But sometimes we just gotta accept it and deal with it. MLB The Show 24. Either the game itself or the news cycle leading into it, which is wild, is going to be a make or break year for this game. I hope it's a make and not a break. And this is not me saying I'm out. Absolutely not. This is me just kind of reading the room of the community. I hope people embrace MLB The Show 24, not because I'm kissing ass. I hope MLB The Show 24 is embraced because the community is better when everyone likes the game. It's like, at least largely likes the game. Again, we need constructive criticism at all times, but when everybody likes the game and thinks it's fun and cool and the content's great and the gameplay's great, how much better is this community? That's why I hope the game is good. That's why I'm hopeful. That's why I am yearning for a fun game in 24, because I just want everyone to enjoy themselves. My content's better when I'm having fun. Your experience is better watching my content. Your personal experience aside from content is better. The discourse online is better. Like, yeah, I can't believe we got this cool card. Or, oh my God, I'm so excited for what's about to come. Finest, oh my God. Like, it's all fun. When people are upset at the game, it's not as fun. It's just not. The community is toxic and sour. No one enjoys playing. The grind feels like homework. I love baseball. I work in lacrosse professionally. I love baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport. It always has been. So I will keep playing MLB The Show. Will there ever be an alternative? Who knows? Will EA Sports ever pony up the money to come back into baseball? Maybe. I don't know. But that's not a now problem. That's a future decision. I swear, this stupid... The viewfinder. Maybe I gotta turn the viewfinder back on. I don't know. If you're listening to this, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're watching, I apologize for the technical hiccups. At least everything's working. This was one of those episodes where I feel like Michael Scott, where sometimes I start a sentence and I just keep going, and eventually I'll get to the end. When I hit the record button for this episode, I knew generally of a theme that I wanted to talk about, and we've accomplished that. I didn't know where it would go. It's going to come across as ranty, and that's fine. Some of you may still think I'm stupid, and I've never proclaimed to be smart. I just want this game to be good because I want everyone to enjoy themselves. I want to enjoy myself. I have more fun doing all this stuff when the game's good. End of the day, though, that doesn't stop it from potentially being a make or break year for a lot of folks. And if you're one of those people on the edge, trying to figure it out, do not let anything I say sway you. Do not let anything anyone says sway you. Only you can make the decision on how you are going to spend your money and your time. Arguably two of the most important things on Earth. Plus love. That was sappy. But yeah, I mean, listen, I can't tell you how to spend your money. I can't tell you how to spend your time. No one can. My opinions on, like, this type of stuff are irrelevant to you. You have to do what's best for you. My opinions on what cards are good, that's different. We can talk about that because that is a less, I don't know, critical thing. But something like this, only you can make the decision. If this game, even if this game was perfect, let's say the game was perfect, and it provides you immense frustration and stress, you don't have to play it. That's where you have to come in and make your decision. So, is MLB The Show 24 a make or break year? Make or break title? I think, to some degree, potentially yes. For a lot of folks. Again, not for me. Just letting you know where I stand. I'm okay with a lot of what's been going on. But I'm curious to know what you all think. Because clearly there's a lot of discourse. And again, discourse is good, but we got to keep it constructive. We got to keep it respectful. Okay? Okay? Everyone say okay. Everyone say capiche. My dad used to make me say capiche whenever he'd tell me something. He's like, you're not going to do that again, right? Capiche? I'm like, I'm capiche. 5-year-old me, capiche. So let's just be nice. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Look out for new content the rest of the week. A feature premiere recap later on this week. Hopefully I figure out this fucking camera. It looks a lot better. I know that for damn certain. We just got to figure out all the settings and whatnot. So we'll get there. I'm probably going to... Here it is again. I'm probably going to enlist the help of some folks who know tech to make it work. So, that'll do it, guys. Thank you for making it to the end. Love you all. Let me know what you think. And as always, like and subscribe. See you next time.